Questions for the record. It is now or la Yom Shlishi. It's actually Tuesday right now because it's Monday night. So it's Yom Shlishi for Iyar 5783, which is still Monday, April 24th, 2023. And my question, the 10th question for questions for the record, is on Onkelos, Targum Onkelos, the Aramaic translation of, in this case, the Torah. So I look around. I have to confess and say that I haven't read every single verse of Onkelos. Sometimes I try to be Maver Sedra, but it's not always easy to do it all the time. To say it twice, the two times in the one Onkelos. But I've noticed that Targum Onkelos does not write Elokim when the Torah says Elokim. Let's just start with the first pasuk of the Torah. Bereshis bara Elohim es hashamayim ve'es haaretz. Okay? And Onkelos says Bekadmin bara, and then Onkelos writes Yud Yud. Let's see it right here. You can look at any Onkelos, but you can see it right here. Doesn't write Elokim. He writes Bekadmin in the beginning, bara Yud Yud, which is really Yud Kei Vav Kei, I believe. Bekadmin bara Yud Yud Yas Shemaya V'Yas Ara. Okay? And I've looked pretty much anywhere where it says Elokim, the name Elokim for God. Onkelos doesn't use it. I haven't found a place yet. Let's see you here. Yeah. Okay. Except when it says Hashem Elokim. When it says Hashem Elokim, like Yud Kei Vav Kei and then Elokim, then he does write that. But when it's just Elokim by itself, he writes Yud Yud. Okay? So Hashem Elokim, he writes Elokim. My question is, number one, why does he do that? But number two, specifically, there's going to be, I think, a bit of a translation problem. Not that there's any translation problem that I can point out about Onkelos. He was obviously a greater and wiser scholar than me by far, millions. But it's something I don't understand. Because, in the Parsha of Jacob, when he wrestles with the angel, Onkelos is going to say that he wrestled before Hashem. But the actual verse says with Elokim. Let me get to it here. It's in Genesis 32. Okay? V'yivasar Yaakov levado, Yaakov remained alone, v'yavek ish imo, and a man wrestled with him adalos hashachar, until the break of dawn. V'yar ki lo yuchal, and he saw that he could not, he perceived he couldn't overcome him. V'yiga b'kaf yarecho, he struck the socket of his hip. V'teka kaf yarech Yaakov, and Jacob's hip socket was dislocated. Behe avko imo, when he wrestled with him. V'yomer shalacheni, he said, send me away, ki Allah hashachar, send me, for the dawn is broken. V'yomer lo, Ashalechacha ki im berachtani. I will not send you unless you bless me. V'yomer elav ma shemecha, and he said, what is your name? V'yomer Yaakov. V'yomer lo Yaakov v'yomer, no longer Jacob will you be called. Od shimcha ki im Yisrael, but Israel, ki sarisa im Elokim v'im anashim tuchal. Okay, because you wrestled with Elokim. Now, this is a big topic of debate. Like, what does Elokim mean here? Is it an angel? Is it God? But the Targum Onkelos in this pasuk says, Achrei Ravas Kadam Hashem Ve'im Givoraya B'Echalt. So, does im means with, but does it mean before? How far outside the translation can the word kadam go with relation to im? Is im being before? I don't think it can even mean before. So the Targum Onkelos says you have wrestled before Hashem and with people. But he's saying it's before Hashem, but the Torah says im Elokim, with. So what is it? Is it before or is it with? Those are two different stances. If you're going to translate the Torah straight, or if you're going to use Targum Onkelos. But if kadam means with, even in the Aramaic, that means that the Onkelos was saying that Jacob wrestled with Yud Kei Vav Kei, because he writes Yud Yud, he doesn't write Elokim. So how does that weigh in? How do you explain that? Elokim usually can mean different things, but usually Yud Kei Vav Kei just means God. Although there are times in Tanakh that you find that the altar was called Yud Kei Vav Kei, or Yerushalayim is called, but those are like specified in the verse itself. It's not an interpretation. It's actually written in the verse. It's called by the name of God. But how would that be applied here? That's question number 10.